going on, YouTube? Culturedog Sam Hatch back here with another much delayed Laserdisc update video. And yeah, it's been some time already. I can't believe June just kind of evaporated into thin air. But yeah, it's been a tough time in the household here. There was a death in the family and some other extenuating circumstances that kept me offline for a little bit. Well, not offline totally, but thankfully, still able to hang out with the Laserdisc Forever group in Facebook, and through their generosity, a lot of this stuff actually was able to happen, and I thank them immensely for, kind of giving me a couple bright spots in a period that was a little rough there. So, glad to be back here doing some videos, and I do have another player that I got recently too. That I'll show you, and some maintenance videos finally going to happen thanks to Peter Biancardi. But anyways, what did I get over the past month or so? Really not that much, but one of the things I got was so cool that it's going to take a little bit of time to go through. One was a flick. I'd seen the American version. I'd always wanted to see the version longue. Big fan of film director Luc Besson, but I've never seen the 162-minute version. Luckily, Vincent Onorati at Laserdisc Forever had bought the wrong version, this one, of The Big Blue, Le Grand Bleu, and he wanted to get the one that was bilingual. There's a later release with a white border around it that has an English track on it. I don't know if that's on the analog or whatever, but this version just has the French version. And yeah, if you collect Japanese discs of American films, it's okay because they'll usually contain the original dialogue and then just have Japanese subtitles underneath. But, in the case of foreign films from Europe, they'll also be in their original language. So if you don't speak French, the Japanese subtitles won't help you that much. And but then again, I've seen the other version, the Big Blue version, enough times that I know what's going on. And, if I can watch anime releases in Japanese without any, translation, then I can get away with watching this without one, too. That said, definitely like to get the version that Vincent also nabbed recently. But thanks to him to, shuffling this my way. And widescreen looks great. Really cool stuff. Jean Reno's in it, of course, Rosanna Arquette. Speaking of Vincent, he also ferried this my way, and actually I don't have this in the sleeve yet. It was in still its shrink, but this is the CBS Fox reissue from 1983, printed in Japan, of Dr. No. And love the cover art there. Really cool, stylish stuff. Unfortunately, CED got the coolest James Bond, early 80s cover art. But that's cool stuff. And what's it got for I think the disc was pressed in Japan. It's got an elephant condom. Ooh, it's got a lot of fingerprints. Somebody enjoyed this bad boy. But it's got the cool CBS Fox label. So, shout out to Vincent. Thanks for making that happen. Getting a little bit closer to completing all the American James Bond releases. Speaking of which, I think it was Tim White that hooked me up with these CBS Fox version, also printed in Japan, of Moonraker, which does get to use quite a bit of the poster art there, so I enjoy that. And 2 discs. So thankfully they didn't squeeze it onto one, because CBS Fox was keen on doing that, time compressing. It still may very well be time compressed, but at least it's not on one disc. I'll check that out. And also The Living Daylights, one of my favorites. Big Timothy Dalton fan. Again, 2 discs, and this one's printed in the USA. 88 is when this came out. Yeah. And also, these were in shrink too. I'll see if I can have a copy. I had the original price tags on them. And they were usually like $38 or something like that. The CBS Fox version of Octopussy. And I got to do some more research on the original release dates of some of these things. And 4 of the Bond films were released as 20th Century Fox video in 1982 or somewhere around there, and then in 83 reissued under the CBS Fox banner, and then the rest of them were also released. And speaking of, oh yeah, shout-outs to Tim. Thank you, brother. Shout-outs, of course, to the legendary Peter Biancardi, who hooked me up with this, and also a couple bonus ones, but I left them at work. We were watching, I think, The Fifth Element out of that bunch. Just a couple Japanese beaters, but I think Breakdown was in there, True Lies, a couple others, but they were there for packaging to send this my way, which is the last, actually, title I needed in the Evergreen Japanese series, Warner Home Video rendition of Octopussy, from when the whole series was reissued in the late 80s, I think 1988. Time to promote The Living Daylights hitting video. Gorgeous stuff. And the old releases, they just had brown jackets. They had the exact same kind of stylization there, but they were brown. But a lot more colorful in the reissue. So yeah, thanks to Peter, now I have the entire Evergreen series. So now I can maybe do a full video on those suckers and compare and contrast. It does have a cool gatefold, but it's in the jacket, and I'm lazy. But you'll see it in that next video. I swear, I'll show you. And then, right when things were the darkest, there was, nothing really good going on, and, collecting was definitely out of the question for a little period, and everybody in the group, all of a sudden, in fact, I think I'd spent an entire day at a funeral home when I all of a sudden saw that the Laserdisc Forever group on Facebook had, under the guidance of the guardian angel, Peter Biancardi himself, had put together this call to arms to get money for shipping for this box and cover the cost of it and the cost of shipping it and something he knew I wanted, because we had done something very similar with Sean Robert Gillette, also known as Sean from the Laserdisc OTech podcast. We'd gotten a copy of this for him a couple months ago, and then Peter scored one for me too, and it is amazing. I've been watching it for the past couple weeks now, past month now really, but it is the original memorial box of Macross, and this foil cover is way cool. It doesn't really photograph very well, but it's a very different design than the later Macross set, and it has just like the other set, it's got a big slip cover. But yeah, I love the silver embossing. And it's got a CD video logo too, which is way cool, and the emotion logo. But it's got how many discs? 11 discs. The last one is a special disc, which has a kind of like interesting chessboard logo. But then the other ones all have this cool. Let's see if I can retrieve it. There we go. So it's just got a big basic inner case, and the design work for the discs themselves are cool. If you bought the Macross box set that I think it was Animego put out, they used a lot of the same, just simple sketches that they have with a single color per disc. So disc one's got some Min-May action, and I believe that's got the Macross special, which was the first couple episodes squished together into one special. And disc two's got some Hikaru action there. And this one's got a couple episodes. What year did this drop? It was the late 80s, definitely, but which explains the CD video thing, too. They were really, Philips was pushing that at the time. And disc 3's got some Misa action. Yeah, and each one tells you the staff and the cast on the backside. Disc 4's got Claudia and Roy Fokker chilling in green. I still like to get the rest of the standalone releases. I think there was 9 or so of them. I've got 3 out of those, so I'm getting there. This one's got the Girls from the Bridge of the SDF one. Cool stuff. Oh, there we go. That's the insert. Put that over there. This one's got what? Lynn and Global and yeah, everybody. Hi-yo. And this one's got the Zentradi, Britai, Exit Oil, and Doza. Britai's one tall dude. And it's got the Zentradi invaders who become enamored with the proto-culture. Nine's got Villainous Zentradi. And 10's got Max and Maria in green. But yeah, it's cool that it's got a totally different, kind of design ethic than the later release. No inserts in the, the discs themselves, and just pretty cool elephant condoms, of course. Pretty cool emotion label. Mono sound, but mono digital sound at least. They look great. I've been watching them without subtitles, of course. It's funny, Peter Biancardi just recently got a Genlock system, so he can overlay subtitles from a small PC, and I'll probably try that at some point. I know he's been psyched about the way anime looks on his garbage-picked RPTV that he got recently, and likewise, I've been actually watching most of these on my Sony, my old 43-inch, which is right next to the camera here now. And they look great on it. Yeah, so I've been, staying up late every once in a while, firing up a couple of these. And then, the special disc has got a couple promo pieces and some ads for the toys, which were pretty cool. They do have the same disc on the later 15th anniversary Macross Memorial Box. But it's cool stuff. It's pretty short, but short and sweet. And the insert is just this one sheet with some more killer artwork and some sort of a message in Japanese. Really nice. But and I'll get a couple of closer shots of the foil cover here, but really gorgeous stuff. Back in the day, if you were to import this, it was 59,000 yen or 58,000 yen. If you were to import this, in the States, if you were lucky enough to find it at a convention, I doubt anybody would be letting it go for less than, $400 or $500 back then. So the fact that it can be had so affordably now is pretty amazing. Also, not a disc or anything like that, but just a cool Laserdisc related item. I'll try and get some cool inserts too. Was from Tim White's new Laserdisc hardware enthusiast page. He had a little contest for people that were joining as a kind of incentive to get people from the LDF to not jump ship but to move over there as well. he had a couple old catalogs to give away, and I was one of the two winners. And it's a cool, Volume 1 from 1989, a pioneer catalog for particularly RCA Columbia releases. And just in booklet form, so you can check them all out and see what you want to get. It's interesting because it's got a index right on the first page or third page, a little key, and it's got a widescreen format listed on there. But as far as I could tell, I looked through and I don't think any of the discs in here are widescreen. So even in the late 80s, outside of the Criterion Collection and some special titles, widescreen had yet to apparently take an immense hold. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But a lot of cool releases in there. Some flicks I'd never even heard of. So that was a cool little gift there. Thanks to Tim for making that happen. Shoutouts to Tim! And again, shoutouts to everybody. Like the professional Gary Oldman style. Everyone! For making this Macross box happen. Because there was just a lot of cool outreach from the LDF group. And I appreciate it way, way much. So it was super, super cool to get that. And what else is new? LD, I think I got a couple things cooking. Japanese boat shipment from the Kobos, the Good Squid, is coming my way with a lot of cool gold discs. So that's going to be a really interesting one to dig into, and some more anime on that as well. But yeah, sorry for the delay. Thanks for waiting for me. Hopefully you did, assuming you waited. Thanks for that. And I've still got, for the channel, tons of other things. I'm drowning in Arrow Video and Scream Factory, Shout Factory reviews. I need to actually get out there. I'm like almost like a year behind. So I'm watching them, I'm reviewing them. It's just hitting a bottleneck for the point where trying to get them all edited and out the door. So it's hitting critical mass. So I need to unveil the sluice gates and let all this stuff free. But I promise, there's actually content going on, and I have been talking with a bunch of people about finally getting the Laserdisc Essentials series done and dusted. Just so much cool stuff that I really want to convey in that, but it takes so much more pre-production time than the usual videos. So, I need to take a couple of vacations or something like that so I can focus on this fun stuff, because it is way, way fun. But, one other thing is I am creeping up on 2,500 subscribers. So to make up for the fact that I wasn't able to really do any cool giveaways for the 2,000 subs mark, I'll do a cool giveaway for the 2,500 subs mark. So we'll do that, and it should be way cool. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace!